All the gurus say that you have to post 3 to 5 times per day to be successful. Would it work? Maybe, but that's for more experienced creators with way more time on their hands that can do all of this way faster, with quality and with help. Now, as a beginner, or even just as someone who can make content, but they're also tasked with running an entire business, not only can it be hard editing 3 to 5 videos a day, but how do you even know what to post? Without any prep, I even find it hard to think of 2 things that are worth posting, let alone filming and editing them. So how do you know what to post and where you can find inspiration? My name is Tony and welcome to Content King, where you'll learn the skills you need to turn viewers into buyers. So let's dive in. The first aspect of this question really depends on where you are in your account growth. Now, if you remember back to episode 7, I introduced something called the meeting with the CEO. This will give you plenty of ideas to get started. So if you haven't yet, go back and listen to that episode. Now, beyond that, there are actually 3 content pillars I stick to when creating content to sell anything on social media. And those are grow, give, and gold. And they're named based on the goals we strive for when making them. And they somewhat correspond to the top, middle, and bottom of funnel content if you're familiar with the general marketing funnel. In the grow category, your goal is to grow your following. I mean, in the end, the larger your audience, the more people you have to sell to. So our grow category content should focus on what gets people's attention and what will inspire them to act. So getting their attention with a great hook or trend, and then giving them enough value to where they listen when you tell them to follow your account. These should be posted primarily on Reels, TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, things like that. Now, the next category is the give content, in which we'll continue to give value without really asking for anything major in return. And the reason why this is so important is because something needs to happen in between them finding out about you and them buying from you, and it all comes down to trust. Right now, they have no reason to trust that you are worth investing in, so our give content is what accomplishes that. Just teach them, change their beliefs, sell them on new ideas and behaviors. This, in my opinion, is where most of the hard sales work happens. And these you can post on all areas from Reels to TikTok to Instagram stories to TikTok stories. And then lastly, we have the gold category. Now this is simple. Make videos convincing people to buy your stuff, as in you receive gold or currency, like gold sales, you get it. Now, if we do the first 2 right, these will be the easiest ones to make, and it's all because of value, right? In the beginning, you should never give away value expecting something in return, or you'll get frustrated when you don't see any return or new followers for weeks. The winners in this game keep providing value to their audience without asking for anything major in return, and eventually, people are begging to buy their stuff. And by value, I mean transform your audience's belief around something valuable, something that can address a pain point or improve their life somehow. So when you're starting off, remember, people don't care about you, so don't make it about you, at least not yet. They only want your knowledge and experience, which is fine because you basically only want their attention and money. So it kind of works out. So now that we know what type of content we need to create, where do we get ideas on topics? Well, first, scroll through TikTok to see if anything inspires you. I do this all of the time, where I'll see someone post a video on a certain topic that relates to my niche, maybe a topic that my audience would probably really like to hear my take on, and I film a video on it. And stealing the topic isn't really stealing at all. For example, if someone posts a video talking about their content strategy, I can post one about that too, because my strategy will be completely different to theirs. Once again, episode 7 on the meeting with the CEO, I think it's actually called Never Run Out of Content Ideas Again or something like that, will be your best friend here. If someone posts a video relating to a scandal, a question, anything that they have an opinion on, you have absolute free reign to make a video on the same topic, so long as you are sharing your ideas and your thoughts on the subject. We're allowed to let other creators influence us. Nobody's coming after you for talking about the same thing. Another thing you can do is to respond to comments using video. Now, this is a great way to make people feel included in your brand, make them feel heard, right? Make others see you as someone who listens to and reads their own comments, and of course, it gives you plenty of material for content. Now, some of my favorite ways to make content are to just have a note on my phone with a running list of titles and video ideas. Trust me when I say that if inspiration strikes and you have an idea, you can't tell yourself that you'll just write it down later, because you will forget later, I promise you. So every time I have an idea of content, I just jot down as much as I can in my notes app and I am on my way. And I pull at least 1 piece of content per day from this ongoing list. And even though it's common advice, I actually got this idea from the queen herself, Taylor Swift. I remember she was being interviewed back when she released her Speak Now album, and somebody asked her what success looked like. And she basically said that you probably wouldn't see her at any function or party without running to a side room or a corner to get her thoughts down on paper when inspiration struck. Her songs are her livelihood, and she respected her own creativity so much that when that inspiration or creativity struck, she listened, she put herself in a situation where she could let all of those lyrics flow onto a page. It's actually not that much different as a content creator, right? When inspiration strikes, we may be at the movies or at a friend's house, in church, in the bathroom. It does not matter. So no matter where I am, I will always pull out my phone and jot down whatever is on my mind, because if you aren't familiar with the creative process, let me be the first to tell you that you will forget those ideas as soon as they came if you do not write them down. And if you don't write them down, somebody else will. And lastly, here you can teach what you know. Now, teaching can get really dry and probably won't hook a lot of people in. Remember, teaching makes people think, which slows people down and causes them not to act, or to act away from you, like scrolling away. So only teach if you can really grab their attention at the same time. Now, with the 4 strategies I just mentioned, you'll be able to fill your content calendar in no time. And if you forgot, they were to share your take on a post that you saw, respond to a comment using video, have a running list of ideas to add to when inspiration strikes, and draw from your expertise to your field by teaching. However, you must fit each of these videos into the Grow, Give, and Gold framework in order to nurture your audience from a viewer to a buyer. So ask yourself, what are my mentors or my competitors making content about? What are people saying in my comment section? What are people saying in my role models or my competitors' comment section? Are they suggesting any topics or asking any questions that I might have thoughts on? Is there news dropping in my niche that you can inform people on or give your 2 cents? Have you experienced something, figured something out, or done something in your content or niche that could help someone or save them time? And lastly, I just want to point out that nobody cares what you post. Believe it or not, when trying to think of what to post about, we typically get this residual antagonist in our mind that tries to convince us that people are going to judge us for what we post. Or they might think, this creator may look at my content and say, why did he post on that topic 2 times in a day? Or is she experimenting with a new type of content? What a loser. Or how dare they share their opinion on a trending topic? Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? So when you're trying to think of ideas, just repost old videos, make videos sharing weird opinions, test the same video twice, but change the color of the text. Do whatever you want on your account. I promise you, especially when you're first starting out, no one will intentionally go to your profile and look through all your videos and grill you as to why you tried this or that or made videos in a different style. Just trying everything and anything you want, okay? Nobody cares. Now, with all this, you should never run out of ideas on what to post. But when all else fails, I like to go to the most successful person in my niche, read their comments on the most viral or recent video, and see if there are any questions I can answer. And it works for me every time I have a creative block. Now, if you're new here, my name is Tony, and I help entrepreneurs create content that attracts new clients. I do this primarily in a 5-day virtual challenge once a month, where you get 5 hours of coaching from me over 5 days, and your content will get clients knocking at your door. So if you're interested, check out the link below to sign up. Otherwise, this was Content King. I'm Tony, your host, and I will see you next time.